Poilievre telling blackface to butt out when it comes to New Brunswick's policy on LGBTQ. You know what? Can we? There's a gay broadcaster in Toronto, and he mentioned with all these acronyms. Can we, and it keeps changing. And sometimes there's two S and sometimes there's three P's and an I. Can we just call it the queer community? I know queer once upon a time was a slur, but it seems to be something that's embraced. But that gets rid of that never-ending string of letters. Anyways, Drea, I think this is a huge win for Poilievre and a big loss for blackface. New Brunswick is, taking a righteous stance on this transanity madness in their province. Trudeau's condemning them. Poilievre is saying, mind your own business. And I'll tell you why I'm glad blackface is putting his nose into provincial business. The more he does this, the more he basically pisses off a typical liberal voting bloc, and I'm talking about those in the Muslim community that are not down with the whole spirit unicorn transgenderism that's going on. I think this potentially will cost blackface at the ballot box in the next year and a half, whenever the election is. What do you say, my friend?
Well, I think once again, the Liberals are underestimating the small fringe minority. It's not a small fringe minority of parents, adults, concerned citizens who do not want to see pride agendas pushed on children by state institutions. It's just common sense. People don't even want to see religion pushed on kids in state institutions. Why would it be any different with a sexual activist agenda? So I do think it's about time we see Mr. Poilievre speak out about this issue. I think what he said is perfect. If you look at this article here, I think we're looking at it. So this is about the 713 policy, which New Brunswick is in the process of reviewing. And one of the first products that came out of those review is that teachers will no longer be compelled to use preferred genders from children without parental consent. They have to get parental consent until the child is 16. So they're getting all this backlash from activists, and they're saying, oh, this controversial change. It's like, no, it's controversial to give kids a whole completely different identity and don't tell their parents. That's the controversy. This is going back to normalcy. And Pierre Poilievre's response to that, he says, I know that Justin Trudeau has butted into that. So let me backtrack a bit. He was asked at an event in Moncton. He was asked about this change that New Brunswick Premier Blaine Higgs has done on the policy. And so Pierre said, it's a provincial policy. I know that Justin Trudeau has butted into that. The Prime Minister has no business in decisions that should rest with the provinces and parents. So my message to Justin Trudeau is butt out. So he was very firm on that. Very, very firm on that. And so, of course, I think I have what Trudeau said here, too. Trudeau had said about it. Right now, he said, trans kids in New Brunswick are being told they don't have the right to be their true selves, that they need to ask permission. Trans kids need to feel safe, not targeted by politicians. We need to stand against this. So,
and sorry, Dre, I missed that. Who said that? Was that Trudeau or Seamus O'Regan?
Oh, did I get it wrong?
No, it was Trudeau.
Yeah, that's Trudeau.
Because I saw a screen capture of Seamus O'Regan, a.k.a. the most stupid MP in the history of Canada. It's an absolute wonder that guy gets elected to even be dog catcher. But, Drea, this is a win for Pierre Poilievre. In fact, if I was in the Poilievre war room, I'd tell him to double down. I would tell him simply to make this an oft-repeated promise, even though it's a provincial jurisdiction. But as Prime Minister, I will reach out to the education ministers across our Dominion and try to convince them to get pornography out of elementary and secondary school libraries. And you know what, Drea? You don't even have to get into gender identification and sexual orientation. So this is not an anti-LGBT thing. In fact, members of that community, I think of Gays Against Groomers. I think of LGB without the T. These are the people that would be on side, members of that very community, just by you taking a stance against child pornography. I can't even believe, I'm hearing what I'm saying, and I can't believe what I'm saying, that there's child pornography in our schools, which should be safe havens from that kind of smut for our kids. So this is a winner. This is a winner across the board, regardless of your politics. The only people that seem to be pushing this, Drea, are these Marxist educrats who have a hidden agenda in terms of, my oft-repeated phrase is, it's all about tearing down society, as a Marxist is want to do, to rebuild it as that Marxist utopia, which never ends up happening, of course. No. So what is there to lose with Poilievre picking up this particular plank?
No, he's representing the parents and saying, let the provinces and the parents deal with it. And that's exactly the way it should be, parents first.
That's a clip from something we call Rebel News Daily. It's our daily live stream hosted by my friend David Menzies, but the show also includes a rotating cast of hosts and special guests, including me. It's a great way for us to talk about the news of the day as the news is happening in an unscripted fashion, and it's an awesome way for you to interact with us as well. We stream every weekday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Mountain, wherever you find Rebel News. See you there.